So we will go to one more match, and we have just gotten the ban. It is going to be the Harbinger. So they said, we came to your level and executed. Now you come to us with something different.
That's actually really...
What's going to
Really
happen
interesting.
next? Is that going to be replaced with another Amar battlecruiser, or are we going to see something different?
I think we might see something different. I think if you just do a straight swap out for either the Prophecy or the Oracle, then you're not going to be as optimal as if you just build another comp that doesn't involve any of those ships, or rather, it doesn't involve the Harbinger. But then again, the
Right.
Oracle does put out a lot of DPS. If you bring an
The
Oracle,
Oracle
at
has
50
the DPS,
with
but the
Scorch,
Prophecy has the tank. Right, exactly.
Yeah. So you bring in your let's say you brought 2 Omens and 2 Maulers, and you brought them in at 10, and you bring an Oracle in at 50 or 30. With Scorch, you could be hitting out to 70, 80 kilometers, doing hundreds of DPS. So you're going to force the other team, although you don't have much tank on that Oracle, you're going to force them to chase you down or mitigate that DPS some other way, whether with range damps or just jams.
Right, and so even with that ban, are they going to? What is Socket Close going to bring? Are they going to expect it to be straight replaced? And what are they going to bring to counter what they think will be brought in place of the Harbinger? Because we haven't seen anything else from this Make a Margaret Again team.
No, it's literally, they've brought that setup every single fight. And I guess it's just worked. And they've been like, you know what, why would we change? It's worked. Maybe they have a whole other, roster of setups to pull out and just never needed them. So our final match will be at 1900 on the button. Both teams should be completely ready by then on field, and we will find out who wins the Tyrian Cup or Tyrian Trophy. Is it a cup or a trophy?
It's a trophy, but it's a cup-shaped trophy, so it works.
Okay. It's a truck. Yeah, and again, if you've been enjoying this EV Sports, stick around because pretty much immediately after we will be going live to the EVNT Championship to watch some more fighting later on today. So again, Twitch chat. Any questions? Just ask. So we have a question in Twitch chat, Nikolai, I believe it's specifically for you, and that is, what does a trophy-shaped cup look like?
Let me find you the picture.
So while you're...
Any prediction? Yeah. So we've talked about it, but what is the real prediction? We have some options, but I kind of think you would bank on something like the Oracle because it has the DPS, but it also fits the spot. The Prophecy can get a great tank, but I don't know if it can pull the DPS to really replace the Harbinger.
Yeah, I think if I was in their position, I think I would bring a completely different setup. So I would just drop the battlecruiser and bring something else completely different. If I had to keep the battlecruiser to keep the rest of the setup exactly the same, then I think I might go for the Oracle over the Prophecy and just go for the balls to the wall DPS and just elite tactics, kill them before they kill us.
The only thing I could say otherwise is the closest thing to a points trade would be a pirate faction cruiser at 11 points.
Yeah, but are those Amar ships? That's the thing.
Right, the only thing that comes close would have to be an Ashimu, and that does not quite pull what a Harbinger does. You lose the links, you lose the DPS, you just gain some utility in that case. It'll be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, of course, Lysis in comments continuing to go down this line. Prophecy, as he says, is still an amazing ship. You get to still bring boost, and it has a phenomenal tank. Everyone knows the Prophecy is pretty much one of the tankiest Tech 1 battlecruisers out there. And most importantly, you get a different type of damage. So you get selectable damage type with
True.
missiles and drones. So if you do bring an Oracle, you are very vulnerable to being countered by a tracking disruptor. Those large guns on that Oracle will struggle to track, even at range, if you have any transversal and a tracking disruptor. Whereas missiles and drones just brawl right in. Who knows?
And that was a big part of the target calling, was the Harbingers were actually squishier and went down. Both of them went down before those last couple Maulers did. So the question is, would the Prophecy have done better in that case if one team had brought one and the other had not?
Maybe so. However, if you do bring that Prophecy, you got to remember you are trading on an awful lot of DPS. So although maybe you survive longer, are you going to end up in a situation where you have a Prophecy trying to kill some stuff and it just doesn't have the DPS to do it?
Right. If you're comfortable not over tanking it, I mean that's what it does well, just like a Mauler. But just like we saw with the Maulers, you can also fit a couple damage mods on there and still do pretty well, either with the drones or the missiles. You just have to be comfortable dropping, a plate or a little bit of resistance.
Yeah, definitely a lot to think about. And if the Make America Great Again team haven't set this out exactly in advance of what they wanted to do, I bet you on their comms right now there's a lot of discussion and debate going on. What do we do? Do we take the Prophecy? Do we take the Oracle? Or do we change our setup?
Right.
Either way, I think we'll see a very interesting fight coming up.
I hope so.
So is this a best of 2 or is this a best of 3? Can we potentially see them tie it up and go to a third match here?
No, this is because it's straight double elimination. So the only reason this is a best of 2 is because Socket Close was able to pull that last match out.
So this is a bracket reset.
This is all the marbles right here.
All the marbles. Pretty amazing. We're going to have to see if anyone cracks under the pressure here. We've seen such great execution from both teams in these previous fights. I hope that it keeps up because it's been making these things so incredibly close.
So in the captain's chat, looks like some teams attempting to get in the heads of each other. Mind games afoot.
Man, I'm just like really anxious to see what people bring. I don't even want to like theory craft about what they bring. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
We got these next 10 nail biting minutes to make all this guess.
Yeah, and as Jin said earlier on, you can be very, very easily put into a corner by your own metagaming. You can just get yourself completely lost and confused and end up bringing something that is completely gimped because you tried to out-anticipate what your opponent is trying to anticipate you would do.
I really expect both of them to bring different cogs this time. I'm going to expect Socket. I'm expecting Socket Closed to bring a kiting setup, and I'm expecting a Make 'Em Are Great Again to bring some form of different Amarian setup. Personally, I'd love to see something based around either the Curse or potentially even the Zealot from them.
So the question to Twitch chat, put it in Twitch chat. What do you think that the Make America Great Again team are likely to bring? Do you think with that Harbinger band they're going to go with another battle cruiser, or do you think they're going to go with a completely different setup? Tell us in Twitch chat what you think.
Yeah, who would like to see I would like to see bombers. A bomber ECM team. That would be great.
By great, what do you really mean?
Oh, I mean the socket closed team. I want to see them bring a recon and bombers. Dial of damage, long range DPS, and just something that can jam anything else that happens when they make a mistake.
Oh, that would be so brutal.
I actually suggested it to Bombers Bar, but because it's the type of organization it is, they have to run regular fleets more often and can't spend time messing around on Sissy when they're busy chasing Rourke walls and supers this past couple of weeks. But I wouldn't leave it, I wouldn't count it out if another team would bring it. I definitely would love to see that kind of setup. Just like a Rook and a couple bombers, and then maybe one other heavy tackle or something to sit there and just be a sump if needed.
So it looks like I'm getting ready to move into the arena now. The anticipation intensifies.
Mia has a good suggestion there. It's something we talked about yesterday, but still haven't seen. Is a Minimatar setup that you could either do Minimatar Rush or you could do something like an Arty comp that might do well against either a counter to some of the kiting setups we've seen, or a something that could out kite maybe the SMR team without having to worry about newt pressure or things like that.
Yeah, of course. I think what Mia is explicitly referring to there is that he's suggesting the Make Amar Great Again team pick the Mimitar team and just goes completely off the wall.
Right.
I mean, that option is the restrictions of only Amar ships is not a tournament restriction. That's a restriction that team has so far placed entirely upon themselves. Now, the other team could be forgiven for relying on that restriction, but there's nothing that obligates Make Amar Great Again to keep to that restriction. They could come out with a full Mimitar team if they wanted to.
Absolutely.
I mean, after all, the Amarians probably just enslave them, chill out.
Exactly. You
But
could
truly
squeeze this
making it
into the
great
lore.
again? Are
Well,
you
you could
truly
squeeze it into
making
the
it great
lore
again?
as they're your slaves, etc., etc., and you force them to fight in your behalf. Is that not truly what makes you great if you're Amar? That you
At the
have an
end of the
entire
day-
team to fight on your behalf?
The
I guess if
Amarians
you're
do
Amar,
believe
that does make sense.
that slavery will repair your soul, and they will allow you to enter the afterlife if you have, completed, if you have purified yourself of sin through the act of becoming enslaved for generations and generations. So, in all honesty, letting them die in battle as slaves is not only a good advantage to you as you don't die, it also means you're saving their souls, which is, as we all know, the ultimate moral good.
It's a good thing I didn't choose Amar on any tune.
Hey, my character's Galante.
I'm just saying, it sounds about right.
So yeah, that could be certainly interesting if Make Amar Great Again just decide to throw away their principles and go for the win.
So guys, please don't forget to take a look at the survey. We've linked it many times, but please go ahead and do it. It's going to be a super good way to help us choose what teams to bring back and what teams, kind of disappointed you. And also it gives people the chance to see what matches people liked. And, I'm pretty sure that the top one on the eventual survey result will be the one that gets 1,000,001 views from random passers-by who just want to check out the thing. So make sure you vote properly. Vote for that match that just, blew your mind. That match that was too close to call until the final moment, or that match that had the hero just pulling it out from absolute of nowhere.
Right, and that survey will directly benefit either the team or the individual that's nominated. So we have the best team to watch, the fan favorite for day 1 yesterday, and then the fan favorite for day 2 today, and then open comments for who you think the best, the most ballsy captain and the best player as individuals were. And those people will benefit directly through ISK and prizes. So be kind and choose the person who you truly enjoyed watching.
So we are now just minutes away.
So anxious. No teams are on grid yet.
I just ordered Chinese, so I have no reason to be anxious. I'm just hoping that I get some glorious salt to put on it from local.
Yeah, so we will link this survey in the Twitch chat momentarily, and that's what you want to do. You want to just go on, fill that out, and let us know exactly what you like best about today. So we're seeing the first members of teams starting to appear in local.
So local is spiking. We should be on grid in a few minutes.
And I'm extremely excited to see just what these teams have brought. Especially Make 'em Our Great Again. We have talked about it at length now at this point. I'm extremely excited.
And this feeling, like the last few minutes of the last match and these tense moments until they warp onto grid and get this fight going. This is what really makes the tournaments interesting, fun to watch, fun to throw, fun to do, fun to be in, on every side of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, speaking as a pilot and flown into AT and a couple other different tournaments, like it's just a different type of rush that you get when you're in a moment where you have to really like pull out a clutch play or just do the best that you can. And yeah, it's just an awesome feeling when you pull out the bag and you win, especially if you come up against what on paper should be a hard counter to your team and still pull it out. That is an awesome feeling. But the
Or even
stress
like
is
that
real.
last one.
Yeah.
Even like that last one when there were no guesses, it was just all execution. You knew exactly what they were bringing and you brought exactly the same thing and able to pull out the victory.
Yeah, very ballsy move
So
by Socket
tense.
Close there. Bringing exactly
And
the
it
same.
looks like both teams are in local now. We're just waiting for him to get on grid.
Hype.
Hype, hype, hype.
Yeah, I think the hype train is pulling into station momentarily. Get your tickets ready.
Yeah, I'm de-scanning this too.
I don't even have D-Scan open. I'm waiting for them to land.
Anticipation's killing me.
This is where you get spoiled by using the Thunderdome tool, where you immediately see what they're going to bring.
Dude,
if you're bringing in a fleet.
You can see it, but like while they're docked and stuff, getting ready, it's like so exciting. So it's like super anticipation. Oh my god!
But isn't the anticipation greater when it's delayed like this?
Oh, here we go. So the
Go for
Socket
it.
Close
Go
team
for it.
landing. Right, we have Mauler, Omen, and then of course because the Harbinger is banned, they have gone for a Brutix. So still going for the battle cruiser. No, that is not Make a Marga. That
Socket
is
closed.
socket closed. Yeah, so we could be seeing a pretty much entire Mar lineup apart from that Brutix.
I called
Now,
it.
the first ship landing from Make America Great Again, Crucifier. We have an Augurer Navy, 2 Maulers, and we're just waiting for one more ship.
I called it.
Interesting, because instead of going for the Logi, they went for
A
an
second
Oh.
Augurer Navy.
Here we
2
are.
Augurer Navies, 2 Maulers, and a Crucifier. Now that Crucifier could be extremely important against that Brutix, especially on the smaller ships.
This is going to be brutal. Look at how much EHP the Make a Mar Great Again team has brought against the Make a Mar Galante team that Agony has brought.
Yeah, I mean, the Brutix, not exactly a squishy ship either, especially if it's hull tanked. That could be an immense amount of EHP to chew through. Now, those 2 Augurer Navies, that is interesting.
They don't have links.
They don't have legs. Yeah, that's a very good point.
They don't have links, but they have so much EHP compared to any other ship in the game. They're one of the tankiest cruisers. Tankier than most Tech 2 cruisers, in fact, if they're fit properly. The problem is that they are very, very slow. I don't know if these Malas are going to be able to... I think that the Marty might even be able to kite them out, and that Crucifier will be able to stop that to some degree with its tracking disruptors, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Yep, that Crucifier, of course, he's just being asked to warp off and come back because he came in at the wrong range. He came in at 100 kilometers. The maximum you can come in as it is 50. Now, the Make a Mar Great Again team, they've come in at 10 kilometers. The socket closed team coming in at 20. Now, if you're socket closed now, you're pretty much not going to be able to catch that that Crucifier. He's going to be much faster. But that Brutix does have some drones, so I think you're going to have to just put your drones on it and ignore it and hope for the best.
We'll see how the play goes.
I'm laughing because this Crucifier is actually somebody I know and used to play with. So, like, I can haze him later for screwing up in the fight. Especially on the warping.
Yeah, this is going to be super interesting, though. It's a question of, are links better than just raw HP? And I think the answer is probably no. But if the team of Make 'em Great Again can take out the Agony Harbinger, the Agony Brutix, they're going to be in a pretty significant lead.
Yeah, now we did see a team yesterday bring rail Brutixes, so there is a chance that this could be a rail Brutix and they're just going to kite away.
If so, then it's going to be the slowest drag race we've ever seen in human history. As 2 armor fleets try really hard to kite each other.
That would be quite funny, and that would be a perfect example of metaing yourself into the dumpster.
Yeah, there is a as people are noting in the chat that there is very little DPS here. This is going to be a very slow, grindy match, but it's going to be very fun to watch.
Yeah,
The real
high
question-
EHP, low DPS. Could be interesting.
This is where we're going to see things other than reaction speed come in. It's going to be a question of who can react the best, who can put themselves in that perfect transversal where they're still hitting whilst the enemies aren't, who can get right on top of them, who has that perfect approach angle. It's going to be very, very slow, it's going to be tentative, but it's going to be, above all, very interesting. I'm going to take a look at the Brutix, but I won't tell anyone what it has on stream because the people may be watching it.
So, let's go a quick poll round the commentators. Rain, who do you think's going to take this?
I'll go with Make a Mar Great Again.
Nikolai?
I'm going with socket closed.
Jin?
I've just taken a look at that Brutix's weapons, and now I have to go for Agony.
Okay, and then I'm going to even up and go for Make a Mar Great Again. And the countdown is going. We have 5 seconds in local. Boosts being applied by the Brutix. And we're off.
And we're off, and it looks like... Yep, it looks like they're all charging together.
Yeah, this is Approach F1. This is Elite PvP at its finest.
The Mala being the first target from the Agony team, the Omen being the primary target by the looks of things, but the Brutix also taking damage, splitting fire across the entire Agony team here, it looks like. But they're splitting fire between that Brutix and that Omen, and meanwhile the Mala is taking huge chunks of damage. That Brutix is definitely Blaster Fit, and he is hammering through stuff, so much damage being applied to that Mala. But as I say that, the Omen is still taking a significant amount from the enemy team. And obviously the Omen has a huge amount of DPS as well.
Yeah, and of course that Crucifier only useful outside brawl ranges. Once you get inside brawl ranges, unless you're going to get huge amounts of transversal up, that Crucifier is not going to be doing a huge amount of use out there.
Yeah,
and so maybe that was a mistake.
The Brutix is being tracking disrupted as well as throwing newts out on these Augur Navy issues.
Yeah, and then that first Omen down for the Socket Close team. Now we have Mauler, 2 Augur Navies, and a Crucifier. Now the second Omen going down now from Socket Close, he's taking a bunch of damage.
And whilst that's going on, they're basically trading half damage on an Omen and half damage on a Brutix for a Mala here. I don't think that's a good trade. Whilst they won't have very much DPS left, maybe 360 tops on those other 2 Aug Navies, it should be enough to burn through that Brutix. From there, they might be able to claw this back. That is so much EHP that they've got to burn through. If they can take out that Blaster Brutix, they're going to have very little left to work with.
It doesn't look like they're doing it, though. It looks like the Brutix is managing to stay alive. They're switching back to the Omen, while this Augur Navy is starting to take a pounding as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the target calling choice here by Make 'em Great Again. They have had some split DPS, whereas the Agony team focusing their DPS down, getting the ships that they have tackled properly applied on, and I think that's really what's going to pull this match apart. Omen there in the Socket Close team, he is very low.
Intense.
Low armor now, about to bleed structure.
Their health fall, like I'm not even saying anything.
They're going down nice and slow, and there goes the Omen. He's in very low structure, and he is gone. So now it is 3-on-3. However, the Make 'em Great Again team, one little frigate in there. There's a huge amount of DPS left on the other team.
Look, they're going for the Mala, not the incredibly damaged Brutix. That's a super interesting. No, they're splitting damage between 2 of the Malas.
DPS. They're going between both Maulers. That is a huge mistake.
The MAGA
if they
team...
lose this Augur Navy before they're able to do any damage to one particular ship, that's it.
Yeah, I think Make 'em Great Again really have to coordinate their fire a little bit more and try and get it all on the same target. Especially leaving that low armor Brutix alone and just going for 2 separate Maulers. I think that's a terrible decision.
So if you look, he's being tracked and disrupted. So maybe he's not actually dishing out as much damage as we think. Maybe he's just kind of sitting there doing nothing but applying newts, and we don't really realize that.
But those newts are incredibly devastating to a cap-heavy team, especially those 2 Augur Navies. If he's able to shut down just one of those Aug Navies, then that's pretty much no DPS left.
And with his Aug Navy going down, it looks like the Aug Navy is barely moving, and the Brutix is webbing him and sitting still. I don't think those tracking disruptors are mattering anymore.
You can see how few shots are even landing on that Aug. And whilst it's going to be worse now, that Aug Navy still might have a chance. Those tracking disruptors, if they're being applied properly, will still do a lot. The Crucifier is within optimal range for those tracking disruptors to really do their work. And you can see just how slow he's going down compared to that Mala. I don't think they're going to win, but he's going to make it very, very close here. If Agony makes a single mistake, they might potentially lose it already. Again.
So it's quite easy for the Agony team, of course, to be on comms, congratulating themselves, but they really need to keep their head in the game. And as you say, if they make a mistake now, they can't throw the entire thing away.
Yeah, Agony here bringing a very, very strong comp, despite.
And now we see EC drones out across the Agony team, so they may be. Are those on... Which Mauler are they on?
Probably the one not getting shot, Silas, who has been exceptional previously.
It does look like this might be mitigating enough DPS from those EC drones for them to be able to pull this back.
And obviously, once people start dying on the Agony team, that EWAR is going to be split less and less. Now they've only got 2 people to track.
Fewer targets to jam.
Yeah, can Demesis pull it back? He's the last remaining DPS ship on his team, and he's the captain as well. Can he pull it back, soloing essentially 3 ships all by himself? Now he is on to that last remaining Mauler now. He does have a lot of EHP to chew through, but himself, he has a lot as well. This could go either way still.
If the Crucifier puts all of his tracking disruptors on that Mala, there is no way that he'll be able to hit him. And that Brutix has, according to local, burnt out his guns.
Now, that is a huge mistake from the Socket Close
Ooh,
team, and that
that
could
might
cost them the
be-
entire match.
That
That
might
this
be
Mauler-
absolutely it.
Yeah, if this Mauler can't finish off that Augur Navy before he goes down himself, then that's it.
Oh my god.
They win by
3v1.
points then?
3v1 victory, potentially. I don't know if he's going to be able to win it on points if it goes like down to time, but there's every chance that he might be able to make it a moral victory at least.
Now the damage has stopped being applied
Wait.
on the Mauler. I think he might be neutered out.
I think he might have been. Oh my god.
So we have a
Silas
stalemate.
does say he's out of cap.
Which means the Agony team is both burnt out, capped out, and being jammed.
But equally, Domitius is not doing anything. Did he burn out his guns as well? Is this just a cascade of failure?
Yeah.
He could be capped out. He could be capped as well. So
He could be.
Nobody's
Does have
shooting
those newts from the Brutix on him, and we are still a full 5 minutes to go. So if they are completely neutered, then this could be 5 minutes of watching people look very embarrassed in the center of an arena.
Oh my lord.
This is pro VVP. This is the final, boys.
This is what we call a clown fiesta. Just nothing but fucking. What is even happening right now? That
Yep.
Crucifier is trying his damnedest, but he doesn't have any DPS to give. That Mala is going to get slowly burnt down with drones, but I doubt he's going to go down in 5 minutes. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Oh, it
I'm
looks
seeing
like we
guns
saw
start to fire again under the nuke pressure. They might have just got enough cap up. And we just have 3 ships all completely on top of each other. The Augur Navy slowly trying to pull range, but he is webbed, scrammed, everything by that Brutix.
He
The nukes
needs,
being applied, he is not moving anywhere.
he needs to start moving just 90 degrees. He needs to start manually orbiting as best he can just to mitigate whatever damage is possible. Obviously, only that Brutix is going to be giving damage, and the Crucifier can tracking disrupt that Mala to crap. All he has to do is not get hit. He has to live by the melee mantra. Don't get hit and you will win. And it looks like he's doing a fantastic job of it right now. That Mala going super duper low, slowly clawing away at that huge armor buffer as the same happens to him.
Yeah, now he did actually turn around a little bit there and try and pull a little bit of range. So I think he was just trying to get better tracking on that Augur Navy, but the disadvantage of that is he gives better tracking on himself in this case. They are
It
now
also-
just chasing each other in a straight line.
Yeah, it looks like the Orc Navy actually has a NOS, which he's being able to use on the Brutix to kind of get himself some cap. And it looks like the Orc Navy is fit with 1 NOS, 1 nute. So he's
Oh my
NOSing
God.
off the Brutix
The
to
Mauler-
nuke
And the
out
Mauler is
Mauler,
down.
and it's done! Can
Oh
he
my
pull
God.
up enough points? I don't think he wins on points unless he kills his Brutix,
No,
right?
the Aug Navy is 10 points and the Crucifier 3, so he's winning by 1 single point right now. If the Brutix isn't able to take down this Aug Navy, which being jammed or capped out, he might not be able to do anything here.
Yeah, no,
Only drones being applied to that Orc Navy. In my opinion, he should be killing these drones and just coasting the match to victory. We heard earlier that he burnt his guns out, so all he has to do is not get hit.
So right now, this
And that's
Brutix
what he's
is actually
doing.
putting the drones on this Crucifier.
Oh, if that Crucifier came within drone control range, and he needs to cut those off expertly. If he takes,
yep. That
even-
Crucifier needs to just get a move on. He needs to burn as far away as he can. Now, he does have, I think Vespa's chasing him, so he should be able to just run away from them.
yeah, easily. But still, that Brutix is going to go down. Obviously, the Galante ship's known for having a huge hull, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough, as these Orc Navies just
Yeah, 30
slam
seconds
into him.
left in this match. I don't think that Augur Navy, under that nuke pressure, is going to be able to take down that Brutix in the time we have remaining. But on points, make them
By
great
1
again.
point.
By one
Make
single
him our
point.
great again appears to have won it.
They pulled it out of the bag from what was essentially a 3 versus 1. They have clawed it back from the brink of defeat to win by 1 single point in a very exciting final here with 10 seconds to go.
Brutix is in hole as well.
As we said during the match, all it takes is one little mistake and it can cost you an entire tournament. They got so far. And
That Crucifier is taking serious damage right now, though, although the time has just run out and the Crucifier repped. The Crucifier suddenly started taking a huge amount of damage there.
So
And
that
that's it.
is team, and that is make Amar great again.
With that, Agony and their socket closed team get second place, and Make Amar great again apparently has made it great again with another Amar setup.
A very exciting final and finale to this entire trophy. It was fantastic. Lots of great matches. Don't forget, fill out the survey. Let us know what your favorite matches were and the most exciting plays.
Shout out to W4R Destined for some incredible
Destined.
Crucifier piloting there, managing to stay right on the edge of optimal for the entire thing, but avoiding any drone damage. As you saw near the end there, the second he got touched by the drones, that was it for him. He had to stay at just above 51 kilometers for that entire match to be able to put his tracking disruptors on at the optimal, the maximum effect, and not get hit by drones. And he managed to do that for nearly 10 minutes, only failing right at the end. What a goddamn hero.
Yeah, exactly. And, let's give a shout out to Dimesh's Kadesh as well. Like I said, he took on 3 full DPS shifts. He took on 2 Maulers and a Brutix and came out on top. That's impressive, no matter how you spin it. Even if the Brutix did burn out his guns. So we run down the categories for the additional prizes that can be won here. Let me just pull them up. So we have the fan favorite, which we're doing a survey for, and the team from day one that is voted fan favorite will all win a Republic Fleet Firetail. Day 2 fan favorite winning a Firetail and an additional 10 million per pilot. That's ISK, not Firetails. Now we also have best in show, and that's voted for by the tournament crew here, and they will receive an extra 20 million ISK per pilot. We have the clutch play, so that is for up to 6 players throughout the tournament, and they get a hyena each. Finally, we have both Captain of Chaos and Risky Business. So Captain of Chaos is for bringing the wildest setups, and that's an extra 100 million ISK for that team. And Risky Business is for being ballsy enough to bring the best setup with high risk, high reward, and they get an extra hound each. So vote now on that survey, which we'll link in Twitch chat once again.
And we're just checking the last kill mail to make sure there were no issues, and it appears everything is clean. We're just waiting on one more kill mail, and MAGA wins. So again, a big thank you to everybody who participated. A big thank you to everybody who watched, who contributed, to the EVNT crew for both the stream and the commentation. Just a fantastic event and fun to watch and be a part of.
Yeah, for sure, some fantastic fights all weekend. I want to thank you guys for organising this and for having us along.
Yeah, this was a blast.
Right. So if you like what you see, make sure you tune in to EVNT's championships tonight. They will be on the same channel in, 40 minutes?
Yep.
If
not sooner.
I need to go hop on to my team comms now because we're flying later on tonight, so someone else can chat shit about me later on.
With that, thanks for coming. Good fights. Fly dangerously. We'll see you later.
Equalized, you could probably